if you've been struggling with how to be more creative, how to actually start leading turns, maybe you are a beginner, maybe you are advanced beginner or intermediate, even sometimes even advanced, and you kind of lack a little bit on ideas, we're gonna give you 3 different variations that you can use on different tools while you dancing. Tools that you already have, like inside turns, outside turns, crossbar leads, even as simple as the right and the left turn. And we're gonna show you how to start using these variations so you can start become more creative and start social dance with more turns and you don't feel or look monotonous, okay? Okay, so welcome, and we are going to start by breaking down these variations that we talk about. But before I start, let me first start by explaining what is a tool, at least on the method that we're using at My Salsa Online. We've been teaching at Joel Salsa for many years, which is the school that we have in Manhattan, and as well in My Salsa Online, which is the school that we have online for more than 7 years. And now what we are going to do is explain to you part of the method of what we're using to teach our students. So what happened is that usually when you start learning a turn, let's say for example right now, a regular right turn, right? I do the right turn, boom, she turns, and then you're like, okay, now I can do another turn, but while I'm thinking, okay, let me do one more right turn. It's like, okay, but I kind of blank. It happens all the time. You go to the dance floor and you start blank, like, oh my God, now I don't know what else to do. And then you figure it out, like, okay, well, I figured it out. Let me do another right turn, and so on, right? Now notice that actually even if you do the right turn, at least you can start switching variations of the same tool. At My Salsa Online, a right turn, left turn, or crossbar lead, inside turns, outside turns, all these things we call it tools. Okay, inside of the tools we break or we explain different variations that you can use with every single tool. That way from the beginning, from the point that you started, you already have variations and you start creating more turns and more options, okay, for your social dance.
Yeah, we also believe once you understand the fundamental, right, the actual concept on how to lead, how to follow the tool, now it's time to get creative with it, right? So it's first understanding it, mastering the footwork part, the leading and the following, and now you can get creative because you have the fundamental of it. Yeah?
Yes. So first the tools. Once we have the tools, we're gonna go for the variations.
Yes.
So if you want to learn, by the way, more tools or more stuff, don't forget that you can visit mysalsaonline.com and we have some free videos there for you. Okay. So now let's start it. If we start here, now I'm gonna start first. I'm gonna call this the first variation. Let's talk about the variations or the positions right now. First position, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do like a shake of the hands, like hello, right? And I'm gonna call this second variation or second position. And then I have another one which is under. Okay, I have the second position. I will ask for the hand under. For now, we're gonna talk about these 3. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to the first position. Cool. The way that you switch, let me explain that. You just let it go and switch. That's it. So if we do the basic, bam, bam, and we come back to the example of the right turn for ladies, bam, bam, I continue my basic. Now I can switch to the second position, and I can do the turn. Tum, tum, bam, bam, and now I'm gonna go for the third position. I'm gonna ask for the hand under, and I can do the turn. Boom, okay? So notice even if I'm using the same tool, in this case the right turn, I'm gonna start doing variations of it. Now, for leaders as well, you can utilize it because you can do the first position, you can have the first position. Now I'm gonna start doing my right turn on a pizza position, we call it, okay? Here, bam, bam, I'm gonna switch for the second position and I'm gonna do my turn, boom. I can ask for the third position and I can start doing my right turn. And notice this is just fundamentals that we teach at My Salsa Online, and this is pretty much how we start teaching, right? We start building the turns. Notice what I did here. I start with the third position, bam, and switch to the second position, and I can do the turn for ladies, right? So this is just one example using the right turn. Now, okay, Joe,
Just
what
the right
happened?
turn, yes.
Right? What happened when we switch now to, I switch this way so I can show you now the outside turn. Now the outside turn, we're gonna start doing this outside turn on the first position, bam, bam, 6, 7. Now second position, outside turn, 6, 7, and pam, pam, 6, 7, and this one is a little bit different. It's going to be a third position, but it's going to be a touch and go here, boom, here, 6, 7, and touch and go, kung kung, basic, pam, pam, drop and catch. All these are tools and concepts that we're using, okay? So here again, outside turn on the third position, pam, 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 okay? Inside turns, the same concept. Inside turn, first position, second position, pam, 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 and third position, pam, pam, okay? So now from here we can start combining. We cover only right turns, okay? Inside turns and outside turns. So we can start making combinations. Okay, now let me think about it. In this one, let me do an outside turn, okay?
With the first
Here in the
position.
first position. Now let me change to second position, but notice I will change on the second position behind my back. Bam, bam. From here I have the second position. Let me do an inside turn. On the second position, let me do my right turn into her left turn. Let me ask for the third position, and let me do an outside turn with a touch and go. Boom. And right there you have a combination, right? It's like, okay, it's a very fundamental term, but it's key, right? When you start understanding the concepts, like all these concepts start making sense, like, oh, now I can see. So I can combine an inside turn with an outside turn, and I can just switch the hand. So when to switch the hands and everything is, of course, things that we go a little more deep inside of my Salsa Online. So we explain everything step by step, like how, like when, like why, etc., etc. Okay?
Yeah, just the main thing what we were mentioning in the beginning is once you understand the fundamental of the tool, then you can start getting creative with the variations. Now, we also like to show our students that if we didn't have the hand position, right, what remains the same is the footwork, yeah? So once we
Yes.
understand that the footwork remains the same, and again, we understand the leading and the following, then we can start changing. So we just want to show you also if we should do our basic, and we talk about the three tools, right? If I say the right turn, I do my right turn, my footwork remains the same.
First
If
position,
the
right?
leader decides to switch the hand,
Second position.
yeah, my footwork remains the same, right? Because I know my right turn. Nothing changes.
Third
Say
position.
he tries to do both hands, right? My footwork remains the same. And so on and so on. Same with the outside turn. I'll just show you outside turn, right? First position, outside turn. Yes? If he just uses the first
Second position.
Second position, outside turn for me. I go forward, bum, bum. And again, the same leading applies, right? The leader has to bring me forward and give me my two turns, yeah? So we just want to show you and make it clear that the footwork doesn't change. We have to get really comfortable with the fundamental of the footwork, and now we can start working on the leading and the following and getting creative, yeah? So this is helpful because it's not about memorizing, like, oh, what was that turn that my teacher, gave in class, right? It's really about understanding the concepts, and this is what we're really trying to get across. Once you have the concept, now it's time to have fun with it. But you have to understand what it is, and then you get creative. And now you're dancing. You're not so much memorizing and trying to overthink when you get to the dance floor.
That's
Cool?
right. Cool. So now what happened if you're a little more advanced dancer, right? Like, can you apply the same things? Of course, right? Now you start applying different things, like, for example, let me do this part, and I can do this right here. Bam, everything on the second position, right? I lead across by the lead and come back into inside turn. An example, right? Again, so I go here, right? Bring her behind me. Bring her into inside turn. Everything on the second position. It can be the same thing on the other side. Yes, of course. I can do this part right here and do the turn on the first position. Again, half, forward, turn. Boom. Okay? So notice everything start applying. And this is another concept that we have, which is the outside turn, right? She was doing the outside turn over my left shoulder. So now it's another variation. Now let me send the outside turn over the right shoulder, my right shoulder, right? So instead sending her this way,
Still
bam,
outside turn.
bam,
Footwork
you
for
see,
me.
I was moving this way, so now I bring her back so you can see the difference. So I was opening this way, now
On
I'm
his
gonna do
left,
the other side.
on his right shoulder.
Second
Outside
position
turn,
with
footwork
a
remains the
right
same.
turn.
Looks
Boom.
totally different.
Okay, so and this is how you start applying all these variations. But again, once you understand the concepts, and we want to make sure that we pass this concept to you. When you start understanding the concepts, like really how it works, when to step, why to step, like how to move, it's like a light bulb. Like, oh, okay, now I totally understand. So now I know how to start applying it. And once you start getting the fundamentals, now the hands getting a little bit easier. And now you start finding okay, now you start the creativity flow, is because you have more options there. Okay?
Yeah. So we'll show you a little bit with music, but again, this was just a summary of what you can do and the variations you can do with the tools, right?
Yeah.
Of course, we have deeper breakdown. Of course, we go deeper when we actually break down the class. And like Joel said, you can visit mysalsaonline.com if you want a little bit of insight on how we break down this. But we really want to just, in this tip, get across what you can do with your fundamentals, okay?
Yep.
Let's show you with some music.
Just a recap, just before we play the music, is first position we're gonna talk about, okay? Second position, okay, which is right to right, or it can be left to left, no matter what, okay? So, and the third position we call it when we have both hands connected. It doesn't matter if it's the right on the top or is the left on the top.
Depending on
what you are going to do, okay? Like, so we're gonna play some music. We're gonna use in these three tools, and I mean these three variations, and the tools that we are going to use, like we did before: right turns, inside turns, and outside turns, and nothing else. So you can see the possibilities that you can do only with these three tools and with these three variations. Okay, so let's play some music now.
Yeah.
Let's try this one.
Okay, so we're going to call out the tools and also the variations
1,
of the hands,
3,
yeah?
5, 6, and
Boom,
2,
ba,
3.
ba,
First position.
ba,
Ladies turns, first position.
right turn.
Bam,
ba,
bam. 6.
ba.
Second position, ladies turn. Bam.
Right turn footwork. Ba, ba. Yeah, it's important for the follower as well to know her footwork, yes? So you can react to the lead.
We change. Bam, bam. So we're here now. We're gonna do the third position. So second, we go for third. Ladies turn. Now we're gonna come back to first position. Notice how the music changed right here. It changed the mood. There will be another tip. Don't worry about it. 6, 7, basic. Bam, bam. So we're gonna do now first position, second, and third with my right turn. Okay. So first position. Epa.
Same footwork.
Second.
Same footwork.
Third one, and then at the end I'm gonna finish with the second position for her turn. And third, and ladies. Epa. From here now we're gonna move into something else. Outside turns.
The variations.
First position.
Ba, ba,
Okay, let me do it again. And I'm gonna change to second variation here. Ba, bam. It doesn't have to be that
Forward,
complicated
turn,
because
turn.
the more that you practice, everything becomes more natural, okay? Again here. So this is just fundamentals, right? And you can start using these kind of turns and make it a little more complicated, a little more advanced here. Pram, pam, 6, 7, and pram, pam, 6, 7, pram, pam. So now you're like, oh, what happened with the hands? It's nothing happened. It's just I was changing from variation to variation a little bit faster, okay? So let's do it again. Outside, bam, bam, 6, 7, and
ba, ba. Right turn.
for example, left turn. Watch here. Okay.
Right turn.
So now we do a little bit of playing with the hands. Okay. So you can again from variation to variation. Outside. Notice how I drop the hand here to come back into this position. Okay. From here I go with the ladies. And now we call in this touch and go, boom, and we place it behind the neck. Okay, couple variations that you can actually apply. Now we also were talking about the inside and outside turns, not the regular position that we always do like this, but also now I can move to the other side, right? For example, here, outside, bam, outside, behind the neck, into second position. Again, okay? Simple stuff, simple fundamentals. Outside, behind the neck, and catch on first position again. So just to give you the creativity here, boom.
Yes.
Perfect. So I hope that
you
you
guys liked it. Hope you understood the concept and everything
Yeah.
that we're trying to
achieve in
Yeah.
this video.
to achieve with this video. Yes, so we hope you love it. Remember, it's about the fundamental tool. It's about the footwork, leading and following, and then getting creative instead of just memorizing, right? We really like for you to understand that it's about the communication, right? The language that we have with each other. It's just because we have a good foundation of our fundamentals, and then we get creative with them, yes? But really, if you notice, most of the dance I was doing right turns, inside turns, outside turns, yeah? With just changing the variations of the hands.
Now,
Cool.
for all the advanced dancers that they're looking at this, we have also advanced turns and advanced things inside of my Salsa Online using the same tools and the same techniques. And you just make it's not a way you make it more complicated. It's just adding more stuff and more things, right, in between. So. So of course the difficulty of the turn is a little bit higher level. But I mean, we using the same tools, the same variations. It's just probably the speed or probably the dynamic that you create on the turns that make it a little more advanced. So we have pretty much applying all these concepts for different levels. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Yeah.
Yes.
So. Hope that you enjoyed this video. We will see you on the next ones. And don't forget, if you know a friend that like these kind of tips or they want to get involved into the salsa world, just invite them. Share this video and hope that they love it too. Okay? Thank you, and we will see you on the next one.